Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help.
Just ahead of John Shannon, one of our guests of the day. Delaney's OK Tire and Langley inbox. Dave and Port Moody. Hey, guys. I'm going to shorten this one up. Hey, guys. Yet another sad day in Vancouver sports radio. Is there any way as listeners and supporters that we can help? Dave, the way you can help is by tuning into Donnie and Dolly every day on Check and our podcast as well.
Just support local. Sekeres and Price are
there
out
are options
there.
out there.
Sekeres and Price are out there. We're out there. 650's out there. Just support local. I know it's a tough time, and times are changing. The cell phone changed everything, Donnie, in my eyes. Everything's in your hand.
Really?
Well, everything's changed because of the cell phone. Look at the Canucks game wasn't on TV, and how did you watch it? Most watched it on your cell phone, got the highlights through Twitter, got your laptop out.
I still refuse to believe there's not a place for talk radio.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying so much has changed with technology, and now podcasts are absolutely everywhere. So, times are changing.
Don't get me started on the cell phone.
It's hurt mainstream media. It's hurt TV.
It's hurt media. It's
radio,
hurt
newspapers. Cell phone.
You go to a restaurant and you got, I'm sorry, you go to a restaurant and you've got, 20 people there. 19 of them are on their phone, not paying attention to each other. That's better.
You go to a wedding and a guy's on his cell phone all day.
Go to a wedding and a guy's wearing his jeans. All right, let's bring in John Shannon, NHL Analyst, co-host of the Bob McCown podcast. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, boys. I'm not sure it's the cell phone that changed everything, but maybe when we went from rotary to touch tone, Donnie.
Yes, okay, I remember that.
The dial phone. I still remember the dial.
Yeah, that's rotary.
Yes, I know that.
Okay. Hey, John, tough news today. Changes at Sportsnet 650 today. Again, it's not going away, but some changes that we can't get into right now. We can't get into all the details. I know there are changes coming with the Sportsnet station in Toronto as well and Calgary. But you've been around the broadcast industry for a long time. Where's this business headed?
Well, I think, first of all, I don't think there are any less listeners or consumers of sports content than ever before. In fact, I would tell you there are more.
Yes.
The challenge becomes it's become an on-demand world. It truly has become an on-demand world, and that's on the consumer. What we saw, Donnie, 25 years ago was newspapers not able to react to how the internet changed their world. How do they get money out of putting out a free page on the internet? Well, people didn't have to buy the paper; they could just go read it for free.
Yeah.
What we're seeing in radio right now, and we've seen it for the last couple of years, is the business trying to adapt to having the consumer decide when he wants to listen to the morning show, listen to the afternoon drive show, and that's something that radio has really struggled with. Truly, really struggled with, and I think we're going to go through it. I heard Rick talking to the BCIT kids. I'm actually bullish on the industry. What we're not bullish on is the conduit between the content we create and the consumer. There are different ways to skin the cat, and that's really what this is all about now: is different ways to skin the cat. What Blake and Matt have done, what you two guys have done is the future. It truly is the future. And the other thing to point out, and you guys, I think you guys, and I'm not saying this because I'm on every Thursday, usually at 11 o'clock, is you guys create entertaining television. You guys, it's not about sports. It's about the dialogue that you guys have. It's the delivery, Donnie, that you have had so many different ways, whether it be on TV when you were doing the Canucks or when you were on the radio station. It is all about entertainment.
Yeah,
and I want to listen. I want to listen to you because you're fun to listen to, and we haven't had very much of that in any radio station of late.
You just end the interview right there.
Your bonus is on the way.
Yeah.
John, a bonus is on the way.
Although he did mention Blake and Matt before us, so
Yes.
we'll talk off the air.
We don't
there,
like that.
John. Okay, off the subject here, John. Any idea? And we know the story here in Vancouver. Negotiations going on. We would hope with Hughes and Pettersson and their agents. Do you have any idea what it's like negotiating with CAA, Pat Brisson, and JP Barry? What do they like to deal with?
They're the silk hammer. They are as tough as you can get, and I don't think I've ever heard Pat Brisson particularly raise his voice. By the way, I just got a text from him. They're talking again this afternoon with Jim about the conversation. So hopefully they get closer. But you know what Pat does is Pat is as affable, and Rick knows this, as affable as anybody is in the National Hockey League, in and around it. He has a fantastic circle of friends, including Mario Lemieux. He's connected. I remember walking through in 2013 when we were doing the CBA, walking through a hotel in New York, and there's Pat Brisson, agent, basically doing backroom stuff between the player's side and the owner's side. This guy is connected. He is efficient. He is polite. I've never heard him, even when he's angry, I've never heard a cross word, but he is stubborn, and he will protect what his players want. And JP's the same way. JP's a little more bullish than Pat is, and that's why they're a pretty good combination when they work together. But what Quinn and Elias know is between those two guys, they are getting great representation and being protected as well as can be protected from a player's perspective.
I agree. Hey, John, you told us a month ago, and you laughed, and you said Pettersson and Hughes would be signed by training camp. Craig Button said yesterday he's going to get concerned. Not yet, John, but if we're in this next week this time and they're not signed, oh boy. Button said it's going to be time to get really concerned. When are you going to get concerned this isn't done?
October the 10th.
Yeah.
Do you think Quinn Hughes isn't in shape? Do you think EP40 isn't in shape? They're in shape. They know this team. I want them in the lineup on opening night. That's when I'm concerned. So, if the Canucks start on the 13th or 14th of October, if they're in Vancouver playing for this team or signed on the 10th, then I'm relieved as a Canuck fan, and I'm happy as Travis Green would ever be to know that he's got two of his core guys back in the lineup.
John, a day late, but your memories of, I'm going to guess you were around then, your memories of September 28th, 1972 and Paul Henderson's heroics. Anniversary was yesterday.
Well, of our generation, Donnie, that is, those are the things that where were you when it happened? There was the Kennedy assassination and Henderson's goal were at the top of the list for many of us. The fact that it was 5-3 going into the third period, we thought we were done. We thought we were done, and Kenny Dryden had ruined it for all of us because he had not played very good goal in the first two periods, but he came up with some really good saves early in the third. And then Henderson, Cormier doesn't get enough credit for the work he did in the third period. And obviously Phil Esposito.
Yeah, you got that 5-5 goal. Where were you, by the way?
So my dad was, I know you got to go, but my dad was the high school principal at South Okanagan Secondary School in Oliver.
Oh, nice.
And so the night before, his grade 10 son had an argument at the dinner table demanding that every classroom has a television to watch the hockey game. And for the first time and maybe the last time, his son won the argument.
Attaboy. Thanks, John. Appreciate it. All the best.
Hey, fingers crossed, and cheers to all those people in the radio industry. We're thinking of it.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, John.